Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope everyone is doing well. I am fine myself. Let's get started. Our first root is climb. Incline means to lean. And I'm going to go ahead and give you two examples for this. One of them is inclination. I'm going to go ahead and underline this root here for you guys so you could see. And the meaning of this is leaning towards. Our second root is going to be recline. I'm going to go ahead and underline this root to you also so you can see much better. And recline means to lean back and relax. Sorry about that. Relax. I'm going to go ahead and choose this word and use it in a sentence. I'm going to write, while he was reclining, he fell backwards. Moving on to our next root, co. This means with, together, and joint. Guys, this is a very, very common root, so I'm going to go ahead and try put this in a box because it is very commonly used. I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. For example, my first word is going to be co-author. As we all know, we all do know what an author is. He is a person who writes a book, and when this word co-author comes in, it means writer who collaborates with another author. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a second example here. Co-education, and education means, as we all know, means educating, teaching. And the definition of this is educating males and females together. I'm going to go ahead and use this word in a sentence. I'm going to write most modern schools today are co-education schools. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you one more time. Most modern schools today are co-education schools. Moving on to our next root is co, meaning together and jointly. This is another commonly used root, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in a box here. I'm going to give you two example words. One of them is collaborate. Collaborate, meaning to work together. I'm going to give you a second word, which is collision. And the meaning of that is smashing. Together. Let's go ahead and pick this word and use it in a sentence. I'm going to say, in order to finish the project, they need to collaborate. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you one more time. In order to finish the project, they need to collaborate. Moving on to our next root is calm. This is another commonly used word. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a box after I give you the meaning. Calm means together, and it means common. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a little box. This is commonly used. I'm going to give you an example word. I'm going to say commemorate, meaning to memorize. Together. And I'm going to go ahead and use this in a sentence. In order to pass the speaking exam, they need to commemorate. Oops, sorry about that. Made a small error there. Right, moving on to our next root is cogni. And it means cogni, and that means to know something, to know someone. And I'm going to give you an example word that is incognito. Incognito means disguised. So no one knows you. And I'm going to go ahead and use this in a sentence. I'm going to say, sorry about that. Let me start over here. His incognito was so well that no one sorry about that. Recognized him. I'm going to read that to you one more time. His incognito was so well that no one recognized him. Moving on to our next roots is con. This is also a very commonly used root, means with, jointly. I'm going to go ahead and underline this for you. And I'm going to say, I'm going to give you an example word. For example, convention. A gathering of people with a common interest. And I'm going to go ahead and use this in the sentence. I'm going to say, let's say, İzmir has one of the biggest conventions in Turkey. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you one more time. İzmir has one of the biggest conventions in Turkey. Moving on to our next root is contra. Contra or contro, meaning against, and opposite. And I'm going to give you an example word here. I'm going to say contradict. Contradict. And that means to argue against. Now, when we take, for example, I want to show you guys this. As we contra means against. And dict means to speak. When we take these two words together, these two roots together, we get contradict, meaning to argue or speak against. I'm going to go ahead and use this in a sentence. He contradicted the Prime Minister's idea. I'm gonna read this to you one more time. He contradicted the Prime Minister's idea. Moving on to our next root is corpo. Corp, meaning body. and I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple of examples here and its definitions. First one is corporation, meaning a company. Recognized as a single body. And I'm going to give you another word, which is corpse. And that means a dead body. I'm going to go ahead and use this word in a sentence. I'm going to say apple is a very big and known, actually I'm going to say, made a mistake there, well known corporation. Moving on to our next root is Cosmo. Sorry about that. Let me just switch colors. Is Cosmo. And Cosmo means universe. I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. Actually, I'm going to give you two examples. First example is cosmonaut. And cosmonaut means a Russian astronaut. My second example is going to be cosmos. And cosmos means the universe. I'm going to go ahead and take this and use it in a sentence. The cosmonaut reached the International Space Station. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you one more time. The cosmonaut reached the International Space Station. Moving on to our final root is counter. And counter means opposite, oppose, and opposing. I'm going to go ahead and give you example word here. One of them, and that's going to be counter. Offensive, meaning attack, against. And attack. I'm going to go ahead and use this in a sentence. I'm going to say the counter offense of the American military was brutal. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you one more time. The counteroffense of the American military was brutal. That's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you next time.